The other day, I headed over to my local Harbor Freight to pick up a new workbench for my workshop. I decided I wanted something that I could tuck away against the wall and use as kind of a sanding table or small project workbench, where I'm going to use my new workbenches that match my table saw as more of an assembly table for larger projects. I didn't want to spend a ton of time building a bench like this, so I wanted to get something prefabricated that I could just start using fairly quickly. And for less than $200 and a couple hours of assembly time, this bench seemed like it would fit my needs exactly. It's got a few drawers, it's got a shelf, and all in all, from the start, it's a decent bench. There are some things that I want to do to improve it, but first, let's go through the assembly process and how I built it, and then we'll talk about kind of the improvements that I'm going to make.
Unloading and unpacking is always the first step. Harbor Freight really does love their styrofoam. Propping this cross brace up really makes getting the first one on much easier. Then it's just a matter of getting every other piece together. It's a little annoying to keep these hardware pieces turned in the right direction. Make sure that the pegs in the legs line up with their holes, otherwise it'll be very difficult to get these wood screws into place. Don't forget to install this screw, or you might accidentally back the vise out. The drawers are pretty straightforward. These drawer slides are nothing special, but they're serviceable, and what else do you expect for less than $200? Smooth and easy installation.
So this bench has a lot of really good features that come right out of the box with it. First is the included vise. Now, this vise isn't going to hold huge stock for you, but it is perfect for small stock and little pieces that you're working on. It also comes with pre-drilled bench dog holes. It comes with a few accessories. It comes with these wooden blocks here so that you can press your boards up against it if you're working here, drilling, holding, whatever. And then it comes with shallower bench dogs as well that you can use when you're planing or things like that. All right. So just in that little bit of planing, you can already see one of the big issues with this bench, and that is that it's not super stable. It wobbles a lot as you're using it. Some of that is simply due to the weight of it. It's not super heavy. It is light enough that I can move it around the shop by myself without wheels, though it is more comfortable to move it with a second person. You can see that it racks a little bit as you move pieces, especially going this way. And so it's going to need some more support across the full length of it. It's just rectangles screwed together. So of course, those rectangles can turn a bit. It does have a great deal of storage. It has 3 drawers, 2 narrow drawers, and then 1 long drawer on the bottom, as well as shelving for a little bit of stuff down on the bottom of the bench. That storage is fantastic and is going to be really, really helpful, particularly in cleaning up my miter saw station, which is where my random tools and everything kind of wind up getting stacked and put down. So it'll be nice to have a place to put everything. The other thing that I don't love about this bench is that it is a bit awkward to move it around, particularly by myself. I am going to buy removable casters that I can put on the sides of the legs and be able to pick it up and wheel it around the shop. In a small shop like mine, it's really, really important to be able to wheel different components around, particularly since I do have a garage door that leads out to my backyard, and sometimes I do need to move everything out of the way of that door so that I can access the backyard through the garage door. I didn't expect a ton out of a table for $170, and I think that with some upgrades, I can make this a much more usable, much more stable table. And honestly, most of those upgrades I'll be able to make with some scrap. So the first improvement to this workbench that I'm going to make is to add cross bracing between this leg and the tabletop on both sides. So I'm going to take this scrap board that I have from when I did the trim of my house. I'm going to cut 45-degree miters on each end. I'm going to press one end up against this leg and one end up against the bottom of the workbench tabletop, and I'll screw them into place, and then that should support some of the racking from going this way, and I'll do one on each side.
Having this bench has made making the improvements to this bench a lot easier. I love these clamps that go right into the dog holes that are going to be great for pocket hole drilling. I needed this spacer here to push the cross brace far enough into the leg to actually grab the meat. One of my favorite pocket hole tricks is to partially drill the screws in and then drive them all the way in so the board doesn't rack. Time for the spacer again. Oops.
All right, so we have the back braces added, and as you can see, that takes pretty much all of the slop out of the left and right motion. And what I wasn't actually expecting was just how much of the slop it took out of the forward and backward motion. There's still a little bit, I think more because it's not level than anything else, but we definitely have a much better stability laterally with this, which is why things are built with triangles and cross braces. Engineering 101, right?
I love these removable casters that I bought for this bench. They're super easy to install, simple to use, and they glide really, really well even across a dirty floor. Plus, you can pull them out of the way so that you don't trip over them when you're using the bench.
So is this a professional grade workbench? No, of course not. And at less than $200, it's not trying to be. This is a workbench for the part-time hobbyist, somebody who makes small projects, somebody who's just starting out in their woodworking journey, or somebody like me who just needs a quick and easy bench setup to get working on while I build out the rest of the pieces of my shop. For $200, even if this only lasts me a year until I get the rest of my shop running, this is well worth it, especially once I've added the additional supports and wheels and all of that. And even after that year, once I have the rest of my shop up and running, I don't think that I see a world where I'm going to get rid of this. I think I'm just going to tuck it into a corner somewhere and use it as more of a dedicated sanding table, a dedicated card scraping area, small hand planing, small finishing, small routing. The dog holes are invaluable. Having the small little vise is a great help. And the storage is a massive boon for my shop, which is very, very badly limited in storage. So I think that this is well worth the investment. I'm glad that I bought it. And if you're looking for a quick and easy solution for not a lot of money to upgrade your workshop, I think that this is a no-brainer for a lot of people.